नज़दीकियों का इतर तू वेलकम गाइस वेलकम बैक टू द स्ट्रीम यो आज होगी वॉच पार्टी। आज बदला लेना ही नहीं है बोलो, आज इनकी मारना है बीजीएम वालों ने। क्या है भाई वो लोग का नाम, भाई पता नहीं भाई, वो इसमें भी रॉन्ग होगा, बीएम ही लगाया है मैंने तो। जो भी हो भाई, आज होगा मौत का तांडव। रुको, तुम्हारी तो लेगा ना आज पीआरएक्स, जो तुम लोग ग्लोबल स्कोर्स को हराए हो। अब जो पीआरएक्स लेगा तुम्हारी, तुम लोग देखो खाली बैठ जे करेगा तुम। जब्बा 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 अब्बा डब्बा कर देगा रखो तुम्हारी बहन की। हाँ करेक्ट ही लगाया बीएमई। आओ
Indonesian team somewhat. Indonesian plays both sides, at least right now though. Forsaken create a little bit of pressure, feeling some heat himself, getting taken out. Meanwhile, the sight getting fired back as well. Forsaken though, with this phantom pickup will continue to push through.
And because it's a 2 versus 4 at the moment, Famous has to bring out the Blade Storm because the Outlaw is going to be that distant gun.
He can find the right position for it at least, but look at
yeah, they've pilfered these guns as well, right? So now they're playing with Phantom, Vandal. We've seen Forsaken really be picking up the Phantom lately, and how damaging he's going to be able to be with that one. So this might be a bit of a threat to come through PaperX's way.
Well, at least they haven't quite sussed out Famous's position just yet. He has a slight opportunity, possibly, but he has to be very careful as well. The Nebula blocking so much of it off. DOS9 arriving right on time as well. Famous clears the angle, spots out Jing, has to back off.
Needed that shot, honestly. Time to be bought with Blaze.
Okay. Can DOS9 pull around him out of the hat?
दवाई मार दिया
instead. Famous now goes for the peak, but Jing in with a flash as well. It's Forsaken to find the kill. I mean, he started this off with the Sheriffs into the Phantom pickup and a triple kill in the round.
Yeah, he had a great work up through mid, honestly, just catching the Boom members none the wiser. And then you've got multiple members in Art that are just able to explode and play strength in numbers, right? Good patience from PaperX in the way that they're navigating around the map. So it's good to see that the decision-making from them is wise at the moment.
4 seconds.
We've seen Boom getting a bit of a read for how PaperX might play, especially with the run it back from Jing in the previous round.
आज बदला आ जाइए भाई, पूरा बदला चाहिए.
also showing that they have a lot of cards up their sleeves.
Yeah, I mean, when Device picking up this Astra, I mean, it's not an agent that we usually associate with him whatsoever, right?
Oh, bit of a pop flash as well. So now PaperX looking to exploit the mid lanes.
It was just Berserks though, and he did have the Sheriff, right? Because Famous now has the Operator. I wonder if PaperX are going to be ready for this.
Would have to. Famous currently leading with 19 kills on the op right now, but instantly dealt with by something. Look at how he pilots that Yoru. Gate crashes all the way towards the back and throws it off sight lines.
I wouldn't be surprised if they want to just grab that Operator and go for a save here as Boom. You're in a 5 versus 3 deficit. It's going to be very difficult to try and get in on a retake here. You just have to play towards the later portion of this half. You know, how can you activate Famous with this Operator? This is the round where just, the one impact kill in mid, space created for PaperX to explode into B, and a simple combination where something is able to TP past Famous with that Operator on the line towards Street, get the kill. Pretty just ordinary.
Couple
of shots and the round's done.
This is exactly how you would want to play this Asian composition, right? With the flashes, gate crashes towards the back.
And any kills that they can find on the hunt here are going to be quite damaging. Ooh. Forsaken. Yeah, he's not going to be able to find anything though, so well done for PaperX. Another round on the board on this attacking side.
Yeah, a bit of discipline for PaperX as well, but we shall see a bit of a second opportunity for Famous to find something with his op.
Gonna have Coach Six Fingers in here for some words. Are we gonna have pseudo Coach Mind Freak on the side of PaperX here? Because we did see Patman, right, sitting with Alex.
Yes, we did. We can't forget Fields as well.
Coach Fields, yes, absolutely. Always excited to see what strategies he's able to cook up, and especially when Boom are running this Team Heretics comp as well, they can kind of work back towards and what strength there's going to be. So far, not seeing too much, in terms of the KO buff, if you want to call it a buff that comes through on those flash drives, and the Yoru clone as well, right? Having a little bit of extra money that you need to spend on it.
भाई
I still think something been playing that quite okay.
Yeah, we haven't really walked straight into any sheer walls just yet. You would imagine it does come into effect at some point, but there it is. Hey, assistant coach Mind Freak.
Well,
he's coffee.
Is he in? Is the camera's closer to him, right? So does that make him
Mind Freak
slot? Like, is that what we're seeing here?
So Alex is the assistant coach
Alex
today.
Is assistant. He can just chill.
Mind Freak, you know?
No desks to be broken today.
Not yet, at least. Well, we have
He's got that big
6 big booms. I don't know. He does have that somewhere, but at least right now, I have to imagine this timeout
चलो भाई बता दो भाई.
called for Boom to reinforce mid a little bit more. PaperX has been exploiting that in the past few rounds. So there it is, a couple of pings on the map. Shiro positioned nearby as well. He hears the footsteps.
Yeah, a big test for Shiro right now.
Tries to dodge it.
He is
pretty much pinned down. Ooh, something. Tries to get ahead with a bit of a gate crash, but it's going to be a double for Shiro right now. Pop flashes as well, and with the underhand toss. Fragments to deter PaperX from pushing any further. Forsaken just re-peeking it though.
Yeah, spotted out by the drone. Wanted to try and bring something back into a workable scenario for PaperX, but at this point in time, some aggression dealt with by Shiro very nicely. It's kind of just going to really stop PaperX here. The spike is down at doors. You've got an operator looking after that as well.
Oh, dono bhaiya.
NC Slasher getting out that drone, by the way, just to really put Forsaken in a spot of bother. Something that I was kind of wondering as well, right? When was DOS9 gonna kind of be brought into the fray for Boom here? That was a great piece of utility to assist Shiro.
Adjustments back into the B side as well.
Now
it's going to be Famous holding the line with this op. But Divide, well, recalls the star.
मारेगा.
Right? You need really big heroics at the moment. Famous with the operator is extending his kill lead with that gun. And now Jing, name of the game is damage because the credits, I mean, they're not too flashy.
Was he low, guys?
Spotted him out as well.
Yeah. And now you got the operator back on the line again.
So Boom, incredibly aware. I mean, that's exactly what I was thinking, especially with that op down. You have to imagine Device somewhere nearby, especially with that star being recalled. So Famous very much playing the game right now.
Yeah, I mean, I look towards him as well, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, you've got a couple of flashes on Jing, on something. If Famous is going to be holding these really tight lines, he needs to either play on a little bit of luck where he's not blinded to get the shot, or go for the lucky blind shot, right? So I'd be kind of interested to see how his repositioning is going to be around the map, because that's going to be one of Boom's strengths, right? It's on this defensive side, really repositioning where he's going to be, how they're leaning around this map, what tells that PaperX are going to come out with.
Huge home crowd watch party cheering out for Boom as well. In Jakarta, where Ascension was held last year, but back into this.
You've got the operator on this A site, and you've got all of Berserk's utility at the moment, so this dimensional drift. Yeah, I mean, PaperX are going to really try and go with this one. Cosmic Divide invested, but the utility is going to stall them out.
Just trying to push them off positions. Nightfall being sent in as well. Famous just firing off warning shots, but not quite finding anything with pot shots. He does find one all of a sudden.
Yeah, Null Command.
Cosmic Divide now, so a bit of a pop flash through possibly. They're trying to play around the smokes. Null Command just does keep them at bay for the time being. PaperX trying to hold on to the current positions. Pop flash sent through, and there it is. Bounced off the wall. Something is different. Gravy on a bit of an escape route. Blaze wall just to buy further time for PaperX. Do they go back into A main? Still not quite safe. Boom are suppressing them with a lot of stray bullets. Something holds the angle. Famous in with a shorty. Something tries to go for the flank, but gunned down by Berserk as well. The Forsaken flank not quite there. Tries to hold it off right around stairs, but Famous spots the angle, sprays him down. A triple found in the round, and Boom to tie things up.
Yeah, Divide loses his life first, and PaperX still want to try and get the spike plant down and protect it when Shiro's Null Command is in the mix. I saw the Blaze Wall come up from Jing, but a missed taunt from Patman. Dodged at the right time for the Boom members, not highlighting anybody. Makes that extremely difficult for PaperX to kind of win any of the duels there. I mean, the shorties are being played well. The fact that Famous finds that first one whilst blind, I mean, it really does hurt out PaperX, but I really have to say, maybe they press the issue a little bit too hard when something's dimensional drift goes in and he's spotting out, you know, Famous, you know the operator's there. When he's spotting out Berserk, you know the Killjoy utility is going to be around the site. They invested a lot to try and bully Boom out of that site, and Boom, once upon a time, they might have conceded the site. They might have been a little bit scared, but this Boom that we're seeing right now, Quack, are a team that has come through Ascension in the slot that They didn't think they'd be here when they lost to Nongshim, right? They are 2-0 up. They are contending with PaperX in the early stages of this map.
And they're not conceding so far, not yielding the site. We heard it from the coach's interview way before, you know, on the pre-show. Six Fingers mentioning that the players are incredibly driven. This is a very hungry team. Like we've mentioned, they win this and they're pretty much locked in for playoffs.
Yeah, go PRX, go.
PaperX on the other hand,
I mean, are they gonna make it to another international event? That's the question for me.
They might not even make playoffs at this point, Dion.
I know, right? I know. I think my little fun thing is org-wise as well. PaperX and Boom last time, it was 13-1 over towards PaperX. We got a lot of players in the server again. That's why I'm like, ooh, Fracture. Yeah. It's gonna be the last map. That was the last time these guys played each other. That's spicy.
Bit of familiarity for sure, but still
2.5 years ago. I don't know how much you'd read into that.
Gotta rear our sights back into this current matchup where things are starting to heat up very much so.
Different positions though with the utility. Shiro, he repositions over into this mid-con area. You did see the hot hands go out from Jing. It cleared where DOS is playing.
Suppression blade though spots everything out. Good little flash, but is it going to be enough? They know where DOS9 is. Hatman will go in for the pinch. A little bit of utility as well, just to push NG Slasher off, but still trying to force it through. Famous will find a bit of a trade as he takes one down up B long.
But now there's a gap in the map, right? Berserks has to fall back a little bit, play on the back of his utility that is still active. That turret, it's not spotting out anything, so he can absolutely play comfortable at this right lane. And Patman, oh Patman, the gun barrel, I think it was just spotted. I'm not 100% sure, but it doesn't matter because now it's all on Forsaken.
This is the worst spot for the spike to be dropped in, okay.
But now it's heard, right? 30 seconds to go. The turret has been recalled. Forsaken's going to get in towards the site. There's a nano to buy time.
That's exactly what I mean. And all he's got is just this sheer wall where currently placed. He might just give him some information. Arcro's back in. Repositions, and now that's where he gets spotted out by Famous from the back. I mean, even if Famous wasn't there, Berserks was up by Dugout.
I do like the response from PaperX in their approach to be able to take mid though, right? When they're lining up for this combo of utility to try and take out Shiro's position where he got that double kill in the round previously, right? You're seeing these little adjustments come out from PaperX, but again from Boom, they themselves are adjusting around the map really nicely as well. Famous didn't get too hungry pushing up through B long, by the way, very disconnected from the rest of the team. He still got a kill, so it was really important that those kills in amongst the street went, you know, which either team's way to bring some stability, but in the 2 versus 2, I mean, Berserks, again, is just coming up with, you know, not the most clutch play in the round to be able to win it, but the fact that he converts that very easily into the 2 versus 1 for the team is gorgeous.
Yeah, a little bit of mauling from Alex as well. I mean, starting to feel a lot of the pressure right now. It's Boom recognizing PaperX playing this double duelist composition, trying to work around B-Link as well, but now back into it. Bit of B-Long pressure. Famous back in with the up, and he continues to lead, and up kills! A second one going through! A bit of a re-peek, slightly whisked right past by, and Jing will be able to escape with his life, but still pinned down around this pillar.
I don't know if they spotted DOS getting in towards the corner. They can't really flush him out, though, unless you want to try and invest a hot hands and play along the line.
I don't know. I don't think...
So far, though, Famous, his damage is done, right? 2 opening kills, a creep up behind the Nebula.
Oh, man. Still trying to go in off of it. At least the Blaze kind of healing him back up for just a bit, but Famous instantly deals with it. Using the shorty. Shira off towards B-Link as well, blocks every single lane. No joy found at all for PaperX in this round.
Flawless round to come through from Boom. Every duel won, and Famous is on 30 HP, man. He's not scared to go in for it when, you know, you got the Blaze Wall coming up from Jing. Why would you expect a player who's on 30 HP to just challenge him with the shorty? You kind of don't, right? But that's what sometimes just the gusto from him to go in.
The morale boost from the previous rounds.
Yeah, well,
said it before, Boom are on a hot streak, and this guy's leading with 15 kills right now.
What did I talk about though, Quack? When Famous gets the operator in his hand, he is looking like a demon. And where is that gun again?
Oh, he's ready to go into Devil Trigger! It's a collat! Instantly shuts down that running back from Jing.
Blades out as well.
PaperX continuing to look to bully their way through into it. Famous will be able to pull out the blades, but here comes that Storm. Back into it with the shorty as well. NC Slasher holds down the line. Berserks to clean things up. Boom! With 7 rounds in their pockets right now.
Man, they're on an absolute ripper of a run, aren't they? 5 in a row to the last round of this half now. That was a complete shutdown. The collateral that comes out, maybe an overheat with the next one. Technically the collateral on the runner back, right? So Jing is not able to find some further positioning. That kill from Devi, I mean, yeah, you'll shut down Famous, but the fact that NC Slasher just gets 3 out of here, I mean, he's hot potatoing all the different weaponry. Berserks, he does not cave under the pressure around that A site that he has made his home. This defensive side of Boom at the moment, really coming up a treat. And now for PaperX, a challenge in towards the A site, nice and early. Remember, the Dimensional Drift last time, they went into the site really early to force the plant. This time, Boom, give them a bit of this respect deep.
A little bit more. It is the last round of the first half, and Boom sitting on a couple, well, close to a couple of ultimates. They're happy to possibly go for the retake. I mean, you've got the lockdown as well. Something in with the Judge, though, trying to buy more time and spacing. Steel Guard pops, and Boom are now all hovering around the site. Shiro in to create some space around Art. A bit of pressure as well with the flash. And that allows for Famous to for peek. Jumping Judge, and he finds the double. And that's the lockdown. PaperX has to evacuate the site. Petman unfortunately dug in a little bit too deep, and it's just Devi off to A main, and they know exactly where he is. Shiro
well played,
painted in all white, and that's going to be Boom to pick up the 8th.
The protocols in that round from Boom are absolutely gorgeous. This time they don't challenge the site itself. They allow PaperX to get in. They're going to be confident in their retake. Berserk's getting in the lockdown makes things really awkward for them as well. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, how the hell is Patman going to get out from the middle of the site? The fact that the Judge works a treat for Famers as well. They're just re-attacking this site from 4 different angles, essentially. And then they know where Devi's going to be playing from as well. That is a amazing performance from all of the Boom members in the tail end of that second half. And now the switch up for PaperX, right? You got a question. You're playing double duelist, going on towards your defensive side as well. How are their rotations going to look like? How is the timing going to look like? Ingesting Patman in towards this roster now, having Devi on the Astra, because he needs to be really attentive to timing for this team.
It's going to have to be key. Timing and getting a read for the rotations. PaperX have only been showing this single look throughout this first half, repeatedly pushing, repeatedly trying to bully their way through, and Boom have readily dealt with it.
You gotta remember as well, I don't know how many people would have expected Pearl to be the pick coming in towards this series from PaperX. You look at the history, it ain't that crash hot this year, of course.
Boom's most recent Pearl play as well, back in kickoffs against Nongshin. That was a bit of a loss. But now, looking this way, 8-4 from the first half, they are happy to take this win.
You got to remember, though, as well, there was that match against T1 where they did lose at 11-13, right? There's question marks around that series as a whole. You know, Boom kind of could have won that in my eyes, but they didn't. But yeah, I mean, we've seen a little bit of help from them as well. Didn't look the greatest against Nongshim, who just had a really good idea on their defensive side, I'll be completely honest with you. And that's the sort of, you know, questions that I'm posing to PaperX right now. How is their defense really going to look? It's a 1-4 split, more structure to the A site, and Boom, I mean, if they had the idea that this is going to be the positions of PaperX here, you know, if they've got that bird's eye view, well, they've run it right.
Certainly able to see a lot across the map. You've got that double initiator, and right now, just a clear out pillar gives them a little bit more confidence in pushing down V-Link. Something, though, now absolutely needing to gate crash the heck out of there. Okay.
Yeah. But time can be bought as well, right? You've got the Shear that'll eventually be popped by Forsaken. He doesn't need to really rotate currently. And PaperX, they're investing what they can around this A site, thinking there might be a rotate back over there. But, I mean, this idea for PaperX is not it. Like, there's 3 players still surrounding the A side. A drone's coming in from Boom. You spotted out 3 players at long earlier as something. You had to call for the rotations earlier.
At this point, you're going in for that full retake game, and it's not easy retake karo, bhai. 0 point just to ensure that for something's still right around the corners, and the rest of Heaven, everything all blocked off by the smokes. Oh, and here comes the salvos as well. Something continuing to try to sneak something through.
Which means you don't have them for the full post now.
or at least hang back and hold it long enough. Famous happy
Shot.
to take the fights. The rest of the team all holding up by B-Long, but take a look at the mini-map. DOS9, where's he going? Here comes Shiro, though, able to find a bit of a double. And PaperX able to answer back as well. Now Jing looking to tap the spike. DOS9's positioning,
it didn't get
timing on the peak, might be able to surprise PaperX. They might have heard a peep as well, though. Now getting off the hand, but oh! In with the classic taps. Instant frag onto Petman before taking down Jing. What is this from Boom?
Yeah, that's really nice timing from DOS9. The approximate millisecond
guys.
before the spike gets halved as well, and then they get vulnerable up by it. Famous just trying to dance around the site. The timing from Shiro within the nebulas as well, that is absolutely gorgeous to come out from him. A well-structured pistol to come through from Boom, a good idea at the beginning, the middle, at the end, even when they're trying to establish the plan, right? Just getting those salvos down to buy a little bit of extra time. Really well done from them to continue this run from the tail end of their defensive side.
Off to the next round as well. Happy to carry forward with this momentum. Something on a Marshall, though.
And now it's Heard. Turret down, but 4 players once more at this A site. This could be just a bit of a good fight here.
Well, the fight on across the map unfortunately goes down to Wayside as well. A bit of a flash. Patman will be able to pick up a double, but still met with force. Boom happy to collect on this round.
Yep, double digits achieved from Boom. This bonus round is going to be a bit of a do-or-die situation for PaperX to start off as well. If they drop this one, well, it's really difficult to come on back. But of course, it's not over until it's over.
But it is now or never, Komodo.
Yeah, and on the defensive side as well, right? So you've got to see, are they going to play this one for again? Are they going to get a little bit more proactive up in A? Because currently they're spreading a little default around the map. It's not the worst idea when you're going up against the lesser weaponry, but Boom, they've got a bit of an A play.
And we have already seen Boom deal with the B site, quite effectively, especially with the 0 point as well. Now back in towards A. Clears out the forward positions.
Shiro went away from the null command as well, so if anyone gives him a peek and they lose their life, that's going to be huge for a post plan if he doesn't get it off the spike.
Nice one. Nice one,
Patman. It is Boom trying to look for a possible sheer wall, but instantly sprayed down by Patman and
jumping to le raha hai.
So Boom having to respect a bit of this space now.
Yep. Creep on up, as saying the sheer can protect them in art. You've got the thorns as well. Whilst nerfed, will still buy a little bit of time. Get out of the wall, there's the thorns. So it really comes down to this 50 seconds for Boom. Do they stay and wait to explode out onto this A site? It's not the worst idea, and they're going to go for it.
Will PaperX be able to hold Patman in with the off angle? Tries to hold towards stairs as well. Bit of burst
nice one!
And that's going to be that.
Nice one, Patman!
In with the quad. What a debut. I mean, back in from Naos into this game onto PaperX, his first day.
Yep, had to see something big come up from PaperX in that round there as well, and just being able to bunker down on that site. Disregard, the utility at that point in time. That might be a bit of a blessing for them as well, right? Because they can just be focused on their crosshairs. Patman, he had a really silent first half, not gonna lie, at the back of the pack time and time again, but this time taking the lead for the team, and Nightfall available is going to be a good ultimate to throw into this round. But it does look like here, Quack, might be an early contest up through B-Long.
Back into it. Oh, PaperX pushing up as well, though. Oh, and it's instantly dealt with by Famous and his op.
And what did I say earlier? If you're playing these operator lines as Famous, are you dodging the flashes or playing on a little bit of luck and timing? Well, the flash didn't meet its mark, unfortunately. Jing, a player that we've seen on Phoenix so often, gets the wrong timing.
पर इन्हें गलती भी करा है आप दे दिया आप लोग दे दिया खत्म मसला
PRX वाले जीत गए राउंड. Yeah, there's going to be so much emphasis on Forsaken and what he can spot here. Of course, the shear is not going to be available right now for him.
And you're 5 and 10. You kind of know that Boom are barreling down this B long position. What are the rest of the players doing?
Horns in, gets a bit of a reveal, but it's all the players from Boom looking to get out into the site. Patman, yeah, that was a bit ill-advised. Forsaken couldn't get any trades there.
Way far too exposed, and Boom are just surrounding this site. Shiro holding down Halls, the rest of the team, they have that Teo in play. Salvo's possibly coming back online at some point. Hall's not cleared, hello?
Yeah, not even looking for him. You had to cut a couple of corners there as PaperX, I guess. Like, I get the idea. But the fact that no one was just expecting him to play back Halls, Now you got to call the audible. Guys, we've got to save here. We need weapons going into the next round if we want to try and stop Boom from getting onto map point. I got to give credit to Boom. Like, the ideas that they're coming out with here, Quack, are amazing. The fact that they have that early engagement that they win, they settle down. PaperX completely just, like, leave the site to Forsaken to try and defend who's spotting over at Street. How much space does that give Boom to just wait for Salvos to come back online? Wait for them to pop a null command and go in together as a team?
Or even just the opening pick with Famous on that off. You know, something that maybe PaperX were somewhat anticipating, but it didn't hit its mark.
Oh,
it did?
So there's the timing.
Oh
that's the luck.
God.
That's the luck factor. It's either he spots them before they're blinded, or he gets it on a little bit of luck and timing because Jing is holding W.
And that's when I would love to hear an interview from Famous where it's not luck, it's just pure skill. What is the lyric? It's 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will.
Gameplay का है?
And let's just add in there.
Thumbnail
It's Famous with an operator. It's just bound to happen.
Currently still leading in the off
BG
statistics.
एक भी वो नहीं लिए, एक ही लिए बस starting में. फिर वहाँ से come back करे ये लोग.
We know how powerful Famous is when he gets the operator in hand on the defensive side. Sure, on the attacking side right now as well, he's still making this gun sing, and there's no rhyme or reason as to why PaperX aren't trying to draw him out, you know, sniff him out, get some early positioning, early reads. You know, if you want to try and allow the operator to not get on these lines, you're going to have to play a little bit deeper because they're not winning these contests up through B round. They're not taking their main control, right? You got to fade on your team. If you're throwing in a haunt, you're throwing in some prowlers as well. You want to try and tackle some space, get in some flashes. They've got the flashes to do so.
I'm just hearing a lot of conditions working against PaperX right now.
100%.
You're working at diminishing returns. This buy, if it doesn't work out, you're facing map point. Famous still on this op, and this time happy to lock down the angles towards mid. PaperX though, stack up on towards the A site.
That's 2 suppressed off the 0 point, but there were 4 players in that bound, right? So a couple of dodges out, and now we get some A main control from PaperX. They start to shift over towards B, but there's an absence of positions up the alleyway, right?
Lockdown if they do decide to continue to push, not lockdown, sorry. It's going to be the alarm bot, so PaperX can't quite push all the way through. Meanwhile, Boom.
If they do continue to this B site, time can be bought from Patman on the ult.
Oh, a lot of players on the other side though. The jump peak, can he sustain himself?
There's the ult, there's the C's as well. So time to be bought, but you're going to funnel them in towards Jing.
Does he have it? It is Famous with the up, and he shuts Jing down again!
Yeah, he's on the dry line, just not expecting them to be positioned in connector when you
Jing
100% so it's dirty. You cannot just waltz out there as Jing, as a solo player, into a question mark number. There could have been 5 crew members at that spot.
No flash either, so it's
short
really
trip,
but at least Patman will be able to answer the Pat signal. Continues to hold the angle as well, but here it comes. It's going to be dual mechanics. Divide in for additional support as well. Something arriving around B long. It's going to be PaperX finding that pinch from towards the back of B lane, able to shut down Boom's onslaught.
Nicely done from Patman to hold that one down and really lock in Boom. I will say a problem that Jing, you know, goes for that dry duel, yes, but you got Forsaken still around the B site. You got his utility as well. So there's a couple of backup plans from PaperX in that spot. But looking at this scoreline, by the way, Quack, you know, it's 11 for Boom, right? You can't make many mistakes as PaperX on this defensive side now. So these rounds have to start accumulating.
I have to imagine it's a really tough thing for Jing to deal with as well. You know, a lot of the fans, or fake fans, calling him different names as such, but he has to deal with this adversity now. I mean, pushing up into its A main.
It's the double duelists that are both 6 kills, right? They're not really too impactful in this game so far. 0.53 in A main.
And the sheer wall instantly tripped. Famous on a bit of a journey with this judge currently.
Yeah, do they expect him to be pushed through connector? The Prowler goes into him, and the Prowler has just seen Famous, by the way, so they're very targeted on him here.
Run it back, suss out the judge, but here comes Patman as well. Got to hold the angle. Divine finds the frag against Famous. Just Shiro left in with the Sheriff.
Flawless.
Peek back out from connector, gets shut down. PaperX happy to collect on yet another round. You've got 4 more to go.
Yeah, you need those gimmies. If there's a lesser equipped round to come through from Boom, you need those ones, you know, in a flawless capacity. Or players surviving, which is exactly what they do there, and really good conditioning as well, right? That sheer goes up, making sure as a team that they're covering the alleyway still. If Street is lost, they're making sure that Connector is prowling out if there's anyone close as well. So the ideas and fundamentals of space clearing is at least still there for the team together as a unit.
Starting to wake up a little bit. You gotta love the run it back from Jing just to find where Famous is, but yeah, that was, you know, a bit of a half-back round from Boom, and here comes the full force. Hey, they've started to read for how PaperX have been, you know, getting that early A main presence.
And if this was a quick A take from Boom as well, they could eventually have the gate crash over from something, which I believe, it's not made it all the way back into the spawn at the moment, but he does have the operator over at the B side, so you almost want to kind of not see him just fully disconnect from B here.
Alright, he does kind of crash back
for
a bit. Boom hasn't made a single
दिखाने लग गया था रैंप वॉक
and this is when they start to push down B lane. Good pop flash as well, but Forsaken playing it safe.
मैं रहता तो कोने-कोने से निकल जाता भाई. मैं तो यहाँ पहुँच जाता.
Still has majority of PaperX's force.
And with Forsaken jiggle peeking, he doesn't spot any more further down B link, so it's a bit of a read into this A site. Jing trying to force the issue with the flashes, but now pinned into his third position. And it allows for NC Slash to find the double back in. Jing only finding one. Defy now has to hold and anchor down the site. But in with the Armageddon as well, he feels a lot of pressure. The Cosmic Divide blocking every single sight line. Clones out, but instantly dealt with. Forsaken able to find a frag off of it. Steel Garden as well. But look at NC Slasher, ready to hold. Just something left. Lose this, and it's map point for Boom. He's got an Op Komodo. Peeks the close angle, swaps to the shorty, finds NC Slasher, and swaps to a rifle. Has a chance. It's two players holding up by stairs. He taps, creeps up front, not quite finding Berserks. It's Berserks who slashes him with a giant sword, and that's gonna be Boom reaching that crucial map point.
You gotta remember when those walls are up as well, your gun technically spotted first, so the fact that NC Slasher grabs that third kill on 5 HP is absolutely ridiculous to come on out. I was thinking it was a little bit claustrophobic around this side at the moment. I mean, that shot is just absolutely brilliant from him, not gonna lie. Boom, they immediately answer back after the 2 that PaperX get. And now it's 5, right? It's 5 map points for Boom to close out Pearl here. PaperX's pick.
Oh my god, and PaperX decide to push without stopping a single beat. The salvos will slow them down, but Jing happy to fire back. Defy with the support as well, but what is the spray transfer from Shiro? A bit of presence found by Forsaken, but now smoked off around stairs. He continues to creep through though. Position not quite found. Shiro lets him slip. And DOS9 will pay the price. Forsaken collects with the triple, finds a round for PaperX to keep them in the game.
And then there was 4. Shiro, nice plays off the flash drives, don't get me wrong. I thought he'd snuck in towards the site, trigger discipline on towards Forsaken, but in the 2 versus 2, the fact that Forsaken's able to at least bring that down into an advantageous position as well, right? There's a couple of these duels that go a little bit haywire. PaperX, how blinded were they in main when they first tried to take all of those duels, right?
Yeah, I feel like Haywire is at this point. This is a really dicey situation for PaperX to be in, and every round still so close. Boom now in with a bit of another half-buy. Famous on the Bucky, Berserks on the Guardian. Everyone watching with bated breath.
Pretty much. Back on this operator line as well. Seen a couple of those lopsided shots from something.
Good flick. And that deters any more peeks from Boom further down this B position. Into B link though, and that's where Petman takes a hit. Jing now has to come up here. The double picked up. Thorns instantly tripped. And Forsaken for additional support. The spike on the ground. Famous looking to pick it up. Has the Bucky, and he fires off a shot. Pump action indeed.
He wants one more. If he could get his blades up here, there's a chance if PaperX give him all of these 1v1s.
Forsaken though with this angle, really tight. It's not going to be doable for Famous, even if he does peek through.
He wants the other gun. He wants to get the Sheriff, the sidearm. I don't know if he got it. I don't think he did.
Don't think so. So still with the Bucky, he tries again, but shut down by Defy, and PaperX still hanging by a threat, but slowly reeling themselves in.
Yeah, but these are the sort of rounds where you've got a lot of your ultimates available as well, right? So if you want to try and navigate a retake back in towards a map, a bit of a comeback, you're going to have to rely on a couple of those pivotal
please come back.
Yeah, very much so, but I have to say, in this round, Jing redeeming himself with that little double, holds down the line for Paper X, has to keep that up for the rest of the map if they are to convert this into an overtime. This is Paper X's map pick.
Well, that is certainly the scary word to be saying when we consider Boom. But we'll see.
Fashion ka hai ye jalwa.
Contest over towards the B side early on. Drone to push Forsaken back. Timing on the deeper Nebula. That's the 1-4 setup again here for Paper X, where they really need to start to have some rotates back over here. Boom, though, not necessarily needing to stay at this B site either. Some lurks over towards A. You've got Patman, who's actually just prowled in the street to clear both sides. So there was, you know, positions around the map that Boom technically could have snuck into.
Got to be very careful as well, though. I mean, you mentioned those ultimates from before. Mono, Paper X has a few, but Shiro has the null command.
Yeah, but it's the passive approach from
yeah,
Boom
watch out. Arts में डाला है. Sorry. Sorry, मैं दोनों हाथ जोड़ के माफी मांगता हूँ.
Shiro across the map as well. Boom trying to get a read for where Paper X has
वो
set
इतने बुलेट
up.
मारा एक भी नहीं लगा.
Did just get something on this deeper A line as well.
Something. Got to be careful, buddy. He does have the op, so looks for an escape route again. And this is where Boom recollects themselves towards his B site. Paper X's rotations.
Forsaken starts to rotate towards the A side.
Going
You
B,
do
mate.
have 3 players here. Remember the Haunt, the Nightfall here from Patman is going to be huge.
Boom keeping them split 3 and 2. Nightfall does find its mark. Jing in with a run it back as well.
Ultimate हमारा
To
Jingu.
receive first contact.
Yep, they've called
And
it.
that is the entire round right there. Jing finding and dealing a little bit more damage to Boom's economy as well. 10 seconds and Boom looking for the save.
save करो चुपचाप.
As I said,
Oh, Paper X. Starting to look alive, starting to come alive, but
Oh.
Zero! What is that? Microflicks again. Divide answer back as well. NC Slasher to find a little bit more. It's not bad in terms of economical damage.
yeah, all the damage at the end there, I mean,
Level
it's pretty
12.
costly for Boom, not going to lie.
Level 12,
You're
level
opting
12.
for the save and you only take 1 gun out of that previous round. There's a discussion to be had here, that is for sure. What did I mention about the ultimates that are going to be there, right? As soon as that Nightfall comes down, that pretty much staves off Boom from being able to get in there. It doesn't matter that the null command goes in as well. When you're trying to just get in towards the site, you've got to give yourself a little bit of breathing room if you've not destroyed a lot of that bias utility, if you've not found anyone on towards the site, right? That's a little bit too passive from Boom in that position.
And that's going to be the final timeout of the match being called by Boom. Can they find their round? 2 chances left, Komodo.
Yep.
And Paper X have been starting to get a grasp of how Boom are looking to attack. They've been able to read some of the rotations across. Or maybe not even quite, just trying to read for how Boom are trying to work their way across the map.
Yeah, but any slip-ups on the Paper X side, and you got to consider as well that that might be the map done and dusted, right? So I wonder how passive that actually makes Paper X.
Yeah, this is going to be quite tricky for sure. I mean, the ultimates are already spent now.
On the brighter side for them, I guess, if you want to try and have a silver lining in the superstitious environment, they have lost their first maps in both of the series that they've played so far against DRX and Gen G, and then won the second map. Maybe that'll happen here too if they do lose this.
I don't know, Komodo. I'm not a very superstitious guy myself, but we will see. Paper X have been known to be a little bit superstitious themselves, but at least for now, needing to read the map incredibly well. Divide does have the Cosmic Divide. It is Boom on a bit of thrifty.
If this round does go Paper X's way, you will have the Armageddon on NC Slasher as well as the lockdown, unless you want to try and get them in this round where you now have a player advantage.
The pistol kill.
This will push something off the line. They know that the operator is around this A site, but do they know that mid is being crept up on by Paper X?
Toss as well. DOS9 low HP back in towards mid.
They do invest the lockdown.
Spots out the next DOS9.
He saw Forsaken. He saw him as well.
And that's a lot of info. Lockdown investment might find its return right now. Armageddon pushes Paper X even further, and that's famous with the blades. A lot of space being collected on by Boom. Just 2 players out from Paper Rex to convert this entire round. Is it doable? Not quite! Just a Vi left, and he's spotted out by the back, knives in towards the neck of Defy. Famous finds the round. The final score at this match, 13-10.
A flawless Thrifty to come through from Boom. Would you have it any other way? A classic Paper X moment. Unfortunately, I can't believe that has happened when you think that they should be gimmied the round, Quack. They make it difficult for themselves. DOS9 had a shocking start to this map, but the timing he has just found in that round for the 2 kills and the repositions for the rest of the team to explode out into that site, oh my.
We can feel a little bit critical right now as how the round has played out, but you gotta give credit where it's due. That entire round played masterfully by Boom. DOS9 with the positioning. DOS9 finding the 2nd kill as well. Even the lockdown finding its value because of that little moment. Just a lot going the wayside for Paper Rex, and it doesn't feel good at all.
I mean, with that last round, what I talk about, right? If they can get the Armageddon in, they've got the lockdown, the blades that eventually come through from Famous as well. I mean, a couple of ultimates can certainly steer a map at some really pivotal swing round times. So Paper Rex's map pick in Pearl, a question mark to come into this one, an unexpected pick not going their way, which means that Ascent around the corner, Boom's pick. Paper X have to find that if they want to get anything in this series.
Yeah, at least we did find a little bit of a quad from Patman on his debut match, but we'll need to see a lot more for the next one coming up. I mentioned it before, you know, these hungry beasts are incredibly hungry for their playoffs position. How is the desk feeling, though, I wonder? I mean, Big Time Pilsky, they were pretty hungry themselves, but how about you, Victoria?
I ate lunch like a responsible person, so I'm not hungry. I feel a little sick, actually, personally, with this. But I have to say, Big Time and I were losing our minds throughout the course of this map. I think it says a lot about both of these teams. But Boom undeniably look so good.
I'm hungry for some more Boom gameplay. Let's go map 2. I don't need to break this down, but that was honestly very impressed by Boom that game. Have to say, I feel like when the round breaks down, they have so much discipline, the way they trade each other. I mean, this is an incredibly solid team from a macro perspective. I feel like this was an outclass, to be honest, if you ask me.
Yeah, 100%. I've watched Boom so many games, and there's one thing I can rely on is that Boom won't play well in the mid to late round at times, or they'll throw rounds away, or not really communicate with each other well. I feel like you didn't see any of that. They looked legitimately like a world-class team in some of those rounds there on Pearl. Famous is insane on the operator. Like, he's the best opper in Pacific right now. If you look at the numbers, he's getting so many op kills. They're getting such great usage out of it. He's an absolute force to be reckoned with, both on defense and attack there. But I think overall, what impresses me so much about Boom in that game is the discipline and the structure, the way they played those XVXs in the mid to late round on attack. They're playing off each other well. They have these contact setups. They're not over peaking at all. No one's getting nervous. No one's getting antsy. Boom are playing with discipline and confidence right now, and the way that some of those rounds are structured, I really want to know what's going on behind the curtain. I want to know, like, because Boom, they've been this core that's been together for such a long time, guys. And, you know, it feels like they're unlocking a new level, and they're fixing a lot of the issues, at least in some of these games, that have been holding them back for a long time.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I mean, I feel like this is a different Boom, even from what we saw at Ascension, right? I don't think their style was at all like this at Ascension.
They were all over the place at Ascension. They would smash one game, they would get smashed one game, they would throw rounds all the time. But, you know, I mean, they should have even won the Ascension Grand Final. They had like a 5v3 on the A side of Bind. Like, that's the perfect Boom example round that lives rent-free in my mind.
This Boom don't lose that round, if you ask me. The way they're playing right now?
I don't think so. Totally agree.
I think it's really interesting. I mean, the main point here is that a lot of the squad has been together for a really long time, has been playing through Tier 2, has been playing in various tournaments, but we haven't been seeing it play at this level. And the question, of course, is what changed?
I agree with you.
I agree with you about this. What do you bring here as the head coach? He didn't even want to be the head coach, but he's like one of those guys like forced into the leadership position, and those often make the greatest leaders. And a lot of things that he wanted to do was keep the fundamentals of what Boom was really good at, which is just damn good aim. And they're really raw, really fearless, but then cleaning a lot of that up, and we see that come through today. And we were talking about this in the green room, just how impressive they are, and they belong like amongst the greatest right now. If they continue at this level,
for sure.
this Boom looks fantastic.
It's a deserved playoff spot. Famous with the op, unreal in this game, both on attack and defense. Always in the perfect spot at the perfect time, barely missed a shot, just disrupting the attack on defense and being a presence that you have to fear, and then being part of the overall attacking structure. He was fantastic to watch, but Shiro was great as well on the KO. Yep. He had like 5 opening kills as well, and his util was so on point. I mean, it's an agent that just got a buff, and he's using it bloody beautifully right now. You can even see it in the calling structure on attack. Like, there was one round where they went B, late round, but you can see he's like flashing the opposing op off the line before they even complete the round. Like, he's really thinking about the macro of the game, especially with your IGL on the KO. Can be really, really powerful.
Yeah, the thing I wanted to highlight from this game really was more with Paper Rex, and when we look at Paper Rex's composition, we see big ultimates. We see the Yoru ult, we see the Phoenix ult, Vice ult. They have a lot of potential to be able to win these rounds, and for me, this was the problem in the first half. They only managed 4 rounds. When they have such powerful players, you're using them well, you should. They lose a body before they even get into the site, so this has to be aggravating for Paper Rex. A comp like this, your ult rounds are the most important rounds. They need to convert those, especially if they're playing a similar style across these next 2 maps, because you cannot be wasting the value that these massive ultimates provide.
I mean, they had a hot start. It's Pearl attack side, guys, and they're not even playing one of these crazy like triple Senti comps that you're seeing on Pearl at the moment with the Astra or whatever. I mean, the opping presence of Famous was very difficult for them to deal with, make no mistake about it, but with the start they got, I mean, Jin got a bloody ace on the pistol. You're playing a snowball duelist agent like Phoenix. You should be just chaining those run-it-backs together, back to back to back, and start running away with the attack side. And they just didn't. I don't think they got enough value out of the double duelist. Patman, by the way, welcome to VCT Pacific. He had an insane round holding the A site, and I think he did perfectly fine on the fade. And once again, Forsaken just continues to be the best player in Paper Rex, no matter what bloody Asian or role you put him on.
I am really curious, speaking of Patman here, because we saw this happen with some of the other rookies that joined Pacific this year. A lot of the coaches have said, like Talon, for example, Killua was really nervous the first map. This is Pat's first time on Pacific, first time out of the country. So this must be a massive first map for him. This could be a bit of a hopium or copium, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is that this is a trend for a lot of the teams. So good performance nonetheless.
I mean, it's a very different environment, right? So it does require different things. He's quite lucky in the sense that he has such experienced players down there with him who should be able to guide him through, settle him down into map 2. But his performance was good. I thought Patman was solid, but I felt like just as a team, they were not on the same level as Boom. I feel like Boom were like, you know, it's a liquid, it's flowing, they're one unit.
Yeah.
Paper Rex, I didn't quite get that vibe.
They legitimately, at times, I felt like I was watching like a structured EU team. Like I was watching a team that plays on the world-class level, and they were punishing mistakes. They were making really good mid-round calls. They had this crazy opping presence. Like, I thought I was watching a really structured, really strong team, which, you know, I used to a lot of holes in the gameplay for Boom, but they are legitimately playing their way into maybe being like a really top-tier team in Pacific right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think at this point, when we were talking about, okay, Boom's here, this is really exciting. Now at this point, it's like, oh, Boom could be in the finals.
Yeah, I was copium in the pre-show before. I was like, they only played Gen G. They just changed players. Their last game, that map actually did kind of convince me a little bit.
A lot of things have changed with that. Now Ascent's going to be the next map, and this is Boom's pick. Paper Rex, the last time we saw them play Ascent was, I believe, in the off season where we saw them play the meta, the old Ascent meta for the very first time, and completely dominated and shocked everyone. Maybe disappointed some people are like, what, you were good with this meta the whole time?
I think it was off-season experimentation, and they were really playing around with the roles, because PRX for quite a long time has just been a little bit lost in terms of what they're doing. It's a map that historically they have not really played. They have been panning it. They've let it through in the veto and chosen to pan Haven instead. When Boom have had a really good opening game on Ascent against Genji, you can see it right there. They once again will have to start attack. Was not a problem for them against Genji, although to be fair,
let's go.
They did kind of bully Suggest that game.
Yeah.
And I'm not, if Forsaken's on the Senti this time, I don't think you're going to be taking advantage of him this series.
The thing I worry about for Boom with this map too is that their Ascent isn't as flexible as something like the default comp is, right? When you swap out Phoenix for, you take Jet out, put Phoenix in, you have a lot less options. So I'm a little bit worried that it could be readable. So PRX, this should be a kind of anti-stratable map, but we've seen PRX ban Ascent the last 2 weeks, so it clearly isn't a map that they love. I think they've left it in for a reason, so I think they'll have some kind of read, some kind of anti, but it's how good that is and how much Boom have been able to change since we saw it in week 1.
That does sum it up pretty nicely. We are in week 3 of stage 1, and we still don't know how this is gonna go. It's just, we haven't seen enough yet, but we're gonna find out a lot of answers today and how PaperX does on a map like Ascent.
I love you.
Personally, I'm not sad to see the Haven go, especially with Patman coming in. Mindfreak is not playing the Haven, and it looks like there was a lot they need to rework on it anyway. So with Ascent, I don't know if it's gonna be too crazy from PaperX. They've been doing a lot of crazy things, but
I mean, I would like them to still keep it kind of crazy. At the same time, though, we'll see what we're going to get. Like we said, it's not a map that they're super comfortable with. They are going to get to start defense first. I mean, that's always a bit of a comfort zone for Ascent at the end of the day. Let's see what we're going to get agent comp-wise, especially from PaperX. I don't think Boom have any reason to really change up what they were doing. It worked great against Gen G. So for PaperX, especially the roles, we got to take a little bit of a look here. Jing back on the controller there. You're going to get Forsaken on the Fade. There's a lot of choices in terms of Init, and they've chosen Fade KO with something back on Jet, and Devi's going to be on Senti. So they are just all over the place with roles right now. Let's see how it's going to work for them.
So we see Boom sticking with that same comp. I think if we talk about the Fade, I think the Fade is very strong in the mains. You can prowl, you have a lot more util in a sense to clear that kind of enclosed space with your prowlers. So I think they're going to try and take it to the Phoenix, who's trying to dominate those mains to control the orbs. This kind of seems like a deliberate anti-pick of a comp.
Well, whoever it is you're cheering for today, I'm pretty sure all of us want a full series because we want to see more PaperX versus Boom. We're going to send it back to our casters Komodo and Quack.
Thank you very much, Victoria. Yeah, this is definitely going to be one of those where we want to see a lot more from PaperX, not just in terms of the maps being played either, but it's just the fact that you lose this, and this severely hurts your chances at making it to playoffs.
Yeah, you'd be 0-3. If you lose this one in this map as well, you're losing your first series in a 0-2 fashion, and as Boom, you're winning your third series in a 2-0 fashion. I mean, I don't think those words were going to be ever uttered in my mouth in Pacific. Boom, 3-2-0 games. Ridiculous. But for PaperX here, Quack, we do technically have something new to come out for them. It's back to the old, we're not playing meta Ascent comp, but it's also Devi, I believe, making his first appearance on the Vice.
Yeah, we'll see how that works for him at least. His Astra on Pearl wasn't too shabby, but ultimately overall as a team needing to find so much more. And Boom's Phoenix comp working wonders against Gen G just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, this looks like it might be a bit of a quicker one over towards the A side. Berserk's down on the lurk with the mid creep up from PaperX. So you wait out these Thorns and then you just call it go time.
Thorn setup does buy time, allows for something to find attention through the smokes. Though, Patman, a little bit of a tricky spot, but at least his teammates are right around the corner to bail him out. Famous trying to stay alive, trying to do as much damage as possible. That's where something pounces. Able to pick up the pistol for PaperX.
Well, we're here big time talking about the Prowlers out through the lanes, but let's just forget about that and let's just take some good old-fashioned gunfights together as a team, creeping up mid, and then back over towards the site where the team tries to go out a little bit earlier than the dark cover provides the vision blocking, and well, you're just hitting your shots as PaperX. Nicely done.
That's the PaperX that we would love to see. However, maybe not wanting to let them get it too much into their heads that they can just gun their way out of every situation. That at least appeared to be what they were trying to do back on Pearl. But right now, at least, a bit of an information play in towards this B main area. Smoked off, sheer wall tripped. And Boom, happy to hover around.
Yeah, we'll see how much damage something is going to be able to find in this one. He's got a bit of his teammates with him as well, of course. So far, Mr. Quack, so good. No plan able either.
Yeah, a little bit of a duck hunt, especially the Marshall in play, but still, Famous able to fire back with that classic. Some damage being done to PaperX's economy. Forsaken in the ghost again, though. He had a quad from before. Can he find another one in this round? It's going to be Patman who does quite a bit of damage to Famous, but he answers back still.
He has to use the runner back here if he babies his chances, right, he get his HP back off it.
Has to get into a good enough position to pop it off, though, at least. So I would gamble that Boathouse is great.
45 seconds to play with.
Spike is as well.
You'll know where the spike is, but
he's
the
such
a
he's holding on to that running back. He's just
going
to go
line. Yeah.
Oh,
wrong timing though.
Fair
I mean,
enough.
I respect it. Not gonna lie, right? You got a runner back available for your bonus rounds. Just can't help but wonder, right? Imagine a world in which he does technically use it to either take a first shot out with the Marshall, and he collects with the shot. He then loses it in the trade, and then he's, pistol pull out. He's able to then potentially win it. Individual confidence. I mean, you've got the 1 versus 3 where a lot of players might overheat and go quickly for the kill. But
2024 Famous might have done that.
Settles himself. Oh, exactly right. Yeah.
It is 2025.
Something in the third round for this bonus makes it not look like a bonus, and an opening kill. Well, he's still spotted out NC Slasher. Shiro down first though.
It's apart from Forsaken as well. They do have that Shiro up by teammates, so that looks to be Paperex's entire game plan. Push out on opposite lanes, have the Vice utility to block off the remaining ones. Off that instant pick, it's gonna be Prowler to confirm information right now.
I love this adjustment of the Shia up through B, by the way. Unfortunate for DOS that he loses that kill. We saw in the game against Gen G how Boom wanted to just get up towards these choke points and kind of explode, right? That single Shia kind of negates your ability to do that in the surprising fashion.
Yeah, Big Time mentioned that this was PaperX's sort of a permaban from the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Intentionally leaving it open.
Well, that's the thing, right? If you're going to leave this map open, you're going to expect Boom to pick it, which means that you probably expect a lot of antis prepared and a lot of strats that are going to exploit Boom's current agent lineup.
And I do believe that is what we are witnessing. 30 seconds left on the clock for Boom to save every single weapon.
30 seconds left.
You can look at the positions as well, though, for PaperX. Patman
going on a hunt.
Might be able to snuff out a light. Spots out NC Slash at least does get taken away.
मारना भी क्यों भाई? ऐसे राउंड जीत जा. उधर बैठ के राउंड जीत जाते तो बैठ जा.
Credits as well.
Yep. And I mean, this is a bonus round, remember? It ain't looking like the bonus for PaperX. 1 Guardian, and the rest, they're going to be able to have that operator taken over, all the Vandals and stuff, and they've built up their economies. So PaperX have put themselves in a really good position here on the back of this bonus.
So incredibly well played and well prepared by PaperX. We'll see if they continue to bring that consistency to the rest of the rounds.
Yeah, big emphasis on mid control at the moment for PaperX, right? If they are feeling sharper at the moment and they want to certainly can't falter them if they are going to be winning them.
That they are doing it as a team. If you've got something peeking down catwalk, you got Forsaken coming out from bot mid.
Yeah.
We'll see. Losing this round might call for a timeout from Boom, but can pull out some answers of their own. DOS9 back on the shot. Oh, something with a peek out.
Yeah, that's really aggressive and really nice as well, because you've dispatched of DOS9. How difficult does Ascent become when you don't have smokes available? You've used your Blaze, but you're now caught up in mid by the Shear. I mean, you're not able to do absolutely anything there as Famous. This round is now very disconnected for Boom. And that's Berserks, one of the clutch kings of Pacific now.
He had a really good game last week, but right now with PaperX answering with force.
यही दिक्कत है फैंटम में. बेचारा हेड मारा 140 गिरा.
If he won that, that would have turned this round absolutely upside down.
I still want to hold my breath though. PaperX, we've seen them kind of
something's on the
blunder before, At least, something is able to watch the right line. Look at this little jiggle coming out from Shiro. Something fires back, 3 peaks, updrafts away. NC Slasher still finding an attack. Special delivery at something's feet, but who's on the other side of that clock burst? It's Divide.
Too narrow focused on trying to find the kill on towards something where you've got the trade potential to come on out. Always going to respect the idea in that one, but the 4-0 start from PaperX now. We need to see a little bit more early gameplay from Boom go their way. We've seen a lot of aggression from PaperX, but not, kind of disrespectful aggression as well, right? They're setting themselves up nicely with Patman assisting with the KO utility, with Forsaken as well, playing his own duels on these lines, and if he needs to, he can Prowler, he can Haunt.
Timeout ही क्या दे?
Timeout from Boom here. Actually getting contested a lot more in this map. than the likes of what Gen G was giving them.
Gotta love that comms are flowing for PaperX as well. I mean, something continues to find picks like these, looking to contend against the likes of Buzz, Texture, and famous for, top op kills.
I mean, you gotta think as well, if something is going to continue to get on these aggressive lines, right, what adjustments does Boom do to try and get advantage in those lanes? Well, you can play on the back of some flashes, you can try and drone them out, you've got 2 drones available on these initiators, you can try and, even molly them out with the salvos. There's options, don't get me wrong, but that's not all that we're seeing, right? We're not just seeing the operator go in from something, find the kill, and the round's done, right? Everybody on PaperX is still maneuvering around the map nicely, putting the right utility down at the moment, adjusting their setups around the map as well. A different look towards how this A site now is going to be defended by Divide.
Meanwhile, PaperX still looking to possibly abuse this mid control. Alt's starting to cycle now.
Well, you know that Shiro's top mid with that dart.
Lena.
Somewhat smoked off, and something's going to play happily around that dark cover.
Is this expected though? In fact, that's the problem with jump spot. You don't know that Forsaken's tucked in either.
All right, but Boom, having felt that much presence and danger from mid before, they're not going to challenge that currently.
Forsaken has found the optimal timing in this round to absolutely destroy what Boom are trying to set up. And yes, I know it's a bit of a savvy eco, but this could be huge for padding stats.
Does DOS9 turn around? Not quite.
Again.
Dink sees Prowler. Forsaken looking to parkour his way in towards a multi-kill. It's going to be a double at least. Maybe a bit of a weapon handed over onto Boom, but Famous now looking to create more pressure onto the site. Blaze wall, the flashes, but something answers. Shorty in hand, repositions to a closer angle. Meanwhile, across the map, Berserks.
Berserks has lurked. If this was, a more impactful round where you could potentially find the winning timing, amazing. You can't really do anything now that you've been spotted out by Patman, except dispatch of him, but you could not find any space for NC Slasher here.
Fair enough, just to build more points towards that ult, but PaperX locking down these angles and sight lines, finding their 5th in this scoreline.
Yeah, and on the back of the timeout, not converting either for Boom, but you would assume it was more of a conversation for this round, the next gun round, and how you want to try and pivot and find an advantage, because really at the moment it's Boom, right? We're not seeing them be able to get into these advantage positions. They're losing in these opening fights, they're losing space around the map.
Meanwhile, this is the PaperX that everyone has been wanting to see. Can they keep it up still? Boom now in with the ultimates, looking to possibly just explode, not even the quiet creep up.
Yeah, but look who's on the line, it's something, and he's already found 1 kill. At least there's a trade, I will admit, but some rotations and some settling down.
Yes.
Devi is at the B site.
Swatted down, Devi to anchor. Forsaken to check as well. The 0 point will call it clear. Well, that was an across the map 0 point from Patman, who holds down the line up around tree. So Cat is being blocked off now. Does Boom come back in to challenge?
Big duel for the newcomer to PaperX to win there, and he wants more.
Underhand toss, he tops in. Jing with the additional support. That is very lovely coming out from PaperX. Well called. The spike down on the ground. DOS9 to try to do some damage, but Jing not letting him through.
Yeah, it's like we were seeing from Jing when he brought out the Brimstone, right? Sometimes if you've got no smokes available, just have your gun up and get ready in all your experience and timing and where you think in that certain position DOS9 might be coming out from. They don't necessarily need to complicate things. I like the mid-round call from, well, maybe I would expect Patman to bring his teammate with him to re-aggress up through Catwalk, because we're not seeing initiative from Boom in that situation, right? They have players down, they're still creeping up. A really good grasp on this defensive side at the moment for PaperX, and Quack, every single round they're changing up how they're playing the early round of these defenses as well, and it hurts Boom because they're not investing in these drones really early on, or they're forced to invest all this early utility, and PaperX are going to be extremely happy if that happens. They don't have to contend with it for the eventual site hit.
You do kind of want to watch for PaperX if they begin to overcook a little bit though. They did leave B a little bit open, but happy to refill back in. Now continuing to hold off mid in case anyone crosses. It's something. Double found. Continuing to hold the angle again. Forsaken to re-peek back towards B main. Confirms Boom's positioning. Smoked off once again. Fragment at his feet. shot through the smoke.
And now NC Slasher.
Trying to play and stay alive close to the spike. Flashed and fleshed over to the other position. Now slicing the angle. Patman finds him. The stray bullet catching his helmet. It's going to be Paper Rex with 7 straight rounds in a row.
Yeah, this is the winningest that we've seen from Paper Rex so far, I will admit. They've really got a great idea, and again, it's on the back of something just dancing around on this duelist. Wasn't, really able to do it too much over on Pearl, I will admit, in the early stages especially, but here, he's got the operator in his hand, and we're not seeing a way in which that Boom are trying to off-put that. He's just getting really hungry for these duels. What was I saying last time we got to cast Paper Rex? I was kind of like, I'm waiting to see Patman on this KO, because when I watch him, I think that it's his best agent in his position and all of his assistants. And while, he doesn't have too many assists here, it's 4, the timing and the impact that he's finding for this team at the moment, really well done.
Reading the positions as well. I mean, he has been playing these initiators throughout his entire career. Now the shots through in the fragment as well, just buys time, blocks off the lanes.
Oh, he tried to
Nightfall being sent as well from Forsaken, but still Boom looking to push and punish their way through. Not quite happening. Divide watching the flank this time. Okay, but Famous able to answer. That's a Phantom picked up. Spike down as well. A possible round for Boom in our midst.
Oh, spotted. Needs assistance though, he's the only one here.
Jing is alone as well. Something to hold the angles, but ooh! Shoulder spotted. Not quite the angle to hold. It's all down to Jing as he spins around on a swivel looking for the frags, but DOS9 able to snuff out that light.
Finally Booming gonna get on the board. A little bit of awkward timing from Famous when he rips out that run it back. He gets instantly shut down from Patman, who in amongst the Hunter's Fury coming his way tried to survive by dropping the null command into it and just wasn't able to. Wrong timing before it became activated. I like the crunch idea from Paper X as well. Just a couple of these angles though finally going Boom's way. I did get nervous though at the end there. This 1 versus 3, Jing had 3 individual 1v1s he could have isolated, but just not able to do it there. So the light for Boom is that they're on the board, and DOS9, oh, you are lucky that you were able to escape that one, because something was ready to take that fight.
Very close to it. And now with that, he's able to lock down this info line across A main. Meanwhile, Boom looking to continue with their assault in towards short. Blocked off by Patman with that fragment.
He's just being such a deterrent though here, isn't he?
Still though, both teams looking to push on every lane. Now back in towards mid. The sheer wall tripped. Forsaken just making noise, making his presence known.
He tried to get some information spotting on top of it if anyone was close towards mid.
Does have to be careful though, because if Boom susses out that he is alone, they might be able to find that opportunity into the B side. Instead, Boom looking to collapse in towards A.
And you have to know that A main is dirty territory. You have to know that something has been pushing here every so often. You've got to watch for it, and they kind of something.
Something. Least numbers found.
Divide as well here, Quack. 1 away from Steel Garden.
Boom just looking to keep themselves dug deep into the site. Something still back into the sight lines. Boom cannot give up their current positions. Meanwhile, the rest of the Paper X B squad, they have to break through the door. Divide finds the first, but Berserk's answers back. Now hopping off through, Forsaken will be a classic shot. Berserk's to answer back as well, but in with the shorty. It's going to be Jing who finds the double to clean up the round for Paper X.
All of the trades coming through in favor of Paper X as well. I see Divide get the kill, but he's immediately traded out by Berserk. The name of the game there is the fact that Famous loses his life towards something, and you've always got it in the front of your mind that something can just peek out through main and just completely win out this round from there. So a bit unfortunate for Boom. I think more importantly, just very aware for the likes of Paper X that the initiative is get these kills, distract them around the site. We have, an option for something to peek out through main if needed.
That's a bit of a rare sight these days. Alex celebrating in the coach's room.
He's got someone he can high five now.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Camaraderie.
But hey, Boom looking to answer back as well. They found some rounds off the back of thrifties or half buys, but with the rounds that Paper X has had so far, something just reinvests into another up.
in amongst the site, in front of the shear by yourself.
Looking to explode again. Where has Jing teleported to, though? Not quite found just yet, and that's going to be the off-angle exploited. Berserk stands are back. And now something. Trying to find something close range with the shorty. Meanwhile, the rest of the team looking to waterfall. Odin spam. Forsaken.
Atangwadi.
Dropping down as well. Das 9 now to hold inside of Hell. Can he drag them down with him? The spike not planted. And he's pretty much pinned down. Something looking for the shorty kill, and Das 9 knows it. Oh, no close range op shot.
Quick scope to come out from something to close that one. I saw a world in which Das 9 finds that kill, gets from the shadows, and is maybe able to get out to get himself some time. But the spike would be in a very untenable situation. Unfortunate, but in the beginning as well, right? Famous getting in front of that shear. The rest of his team is not able to get in to help him at that point in time, unfortunately. He has to try and cook for himself around there, where he does find that first kill, but again, it's just a trade game. That's unfortunate. It's really a trade game at the moment that's coming out from Paper X. They're ahead of it, they're going in quick, they're going in slow. They're really keeping Boom guessing with every single round being different to the positions and the first looks.
This is a Paper X that is flowing, you know, double keying. They're finding info lines. They're happy to retake. They're happy to go for these fights.
They're in the flow state.
Boom looking to explode right back, though. They've had a bit of success into the A site, now looking to create some of it on towards B, especially with this run it back, but now slowed down by that C Forsaken alongside Petman. Both initiators around the site. Odin spammed through as well, but nothing found just yet.
Steel Garden can actually be pretty impactful for Devi here.
He is in position, and he pops it off. Spike still down though, and with that Steel Garden in play, the primary is jammed up. Paper X looking to push through. However, Boathouse not quite affected by it. Shiro will be able to hold it off. Still though. Now Patman trying to push in. Spotted out by Berserks. Paper X's numbers starting to fall down now, and it's just something left. Looks to try to save that up, and does manage to get away. That will be another round for Boom picked up.
He's going to skedaddle on out of there to save that gun, because the money is still a bit of a fickle thing for Paper X here.
Hello.
But for Boom, that's another round on the board on this attacking side. Some nice repositioning from Famous as well, who once again can't really find anything with the run it back. He didn't immediately die, but he got straight away getting into the site. So the only thing he was able to achieve was shutting the market door, where one of his teammates was seen and tickled down a little bit, right? Grand scheme of things, doesn't really matter because Boom managed to get on the board. But the best thing that they can hope for at the tail end of this half, I mean, it's going to be the 9-3, right?
That's definitely what Paper X has proven at least, but still we'll see if Boom will indeed turn this into a 3. Shiro with the Odin now. And Paper X for the first time in a long while, not quite pushing out aggressively.
Yeah.
map.
We have Devi with the Stinger, of course, an operator. Challenge around this site. The flash gonna work. A treat for Famous.
Goes in for the swing. Something. Bit of a whiff as well. Now spots out Famous, but look at the movements! Just sachets himself into the site. Paper X, the rest of them looking to arrive on the scene. Patman alongside Forsaken, trying to spam their way through. The hunt sent out as well. No, it's a seize. So the tethers reveal positions, and Patman finds the quad. I am Patman.
Batman.
Sent in on the end there to clean up the crew of Boom, and it's done nicely. A very quick retake to come on through, not enabling Boom to establish any seniority in the round, any stability at all. That horn, absolutely immaculate to come on through from Forsaken, and then I mean, it's not understated to say that Patman just coming up very, very crispy looking on this map.
He's got his Patarang.
He's what?
I'll let myself out.
Batman. Okay.
There we go.
No. Doors that way.
Thank you.
2-10 makes it very difficult for Boom here if they're not able to pick up the pistol round to start off the affairs, which, to be fair, they've been pretty successful in pistols so far. They've lost the first one on this map, they've lost the first one on the first map as well. They got the second, and a couple of the previous series, they're pretty proficient as well.
Salute kar do. Devi 4 seconds.
Batana re chashmish. Still have a
Hello
third
आंटी
one
जी,
left
आपके बेटे को
and
समीक्षी का
Yeah, fracture if we get there.
Don't want to get too ahead of myself though, at least.
Yeah,
Dosha?
question mark for me,
Rising
not
Goat?
gonna lie. I mean, that's the
Sale.
one where Boom had the choice of Lotus.
गोट में ए है ना वो मेरा ही
We'll
नाम
get
का
to hear a
है
little bit more
Greatest
from the
of
desk if we do get
Anshu
there
time.
in terms of the third map, because we are still in the second. We've still got space to see if Boom are going to be able to kind of bring some stuff back for us.
But at least so far, this series has been
Anshu.
absolutely delivering on both ends as well. Boom from the first map of Pearl, we're looking to disrupt PaperX's attacks. This time, PaperX disrupting Boom's attacks. We'll see how it all fares out on towards PaperX's attack on their own.
Yeah, just not giving Boom the light of day in the early stage to creep on up to the choke points and then explode on out, right?
Watch out for at least now Shiro, happy to collect on some information. Reinforcements have arrived, but everything has been smoked off as well.
Ooh.
Look at something dive straight in towards Famous.
Shot.
The dive bomb exploding away happily. Shiro in with the shock dart as well, tries to track his head across, but something continues to flick.
Yeah.
Looks for the quad, but shut down right now.
की माँ का क्या मारा रे सीधा पट से
Spike will happily go down as well. Not much in terms of utility for Boom, just a paranoia as well as a dark cover. Market being blocked up as well.
कद्दू
Not much
कद्दू retake कर ले
can
मेरा
be done. NC Slasher for a bit of a trade. That should pretty much be it.
हो गया अब मसला खत्म है
DOS9 still trying to find as much as he can though, but Divide will happily tap away.
Right,
ठीक है
Pistol's got
फ्रैक्चर रेडी करो
PaperX,
मैं जाता
angry
हूँ
something to start off as
Fracture
well.
offline
You know, the old classic, if you want to take some market control. When KO was, you know, kind of first introduced, we did see it a good idea to get some blades, or you try to get some flashes and some mollies in towards market and send your teammate in, change things up as well. Nice self-sufficient play to come out from something, to just dash himself into his own smoke
Dream Labs
challenges.
Secret Labs
You know, you're kind of looking towards PaperX to really just catch Boom off guard here.
मेरा फेस कैम है या गया
In that round, you're going to force Boom up. They need a leg to stand on. Got to go toe-to-toe somehow. Try to upgrade some weapons. Get absolutely overrun on this A site.
सीधा dash in
Especially with all that utility. Needing to respect the space that is being claimed by PaperX. Fragment now, just to allow them to shut down that door in Boom's face. That's still spamming through.
Something for the opener once more.
Looking like shades of his old self. Still back in the sight. Knowing that the door is broken, they're looking to repeat back into it. Look at the dive in, but Bame is okay. Strays away with that stinger shot. Now Shiro back in. NC Slasher answering back as well. Now just down to Jing. Tries to reposition into the smoke, but is that going to be enough? The stinger sprays not quite favoring him, favoring Famous instead.
Okay, well, not going to see map things that they shouldn't. Tail end bull.
VALORANT China है
这个完成包夹了啊！这波打得真漂亮啊！这个决策啊 ，A 点佯动，接下来二楼压力给足。
Potentially gather consecutive rounds, right? 7 in a row from PaperX to start off this map. You cannot forget the dominance
इको कर रहे
in
हो
the scoreline like that.
Still definite chances
खत्म
for
करो
Boom
भाई
to
जल्दी
answer back. I do believe there was, you know, a 10-2 comeback for one of the teams in the other regions.
Yeah, if
previously.
you went to bed at the 10-0 mark, yeah, and then you come back and they lost that.
So not impossible for Boom.
I was one of those that went to bed at the 10-0 mark.
I mean, how could you not? But still,
practice
we are in Pacific after all time zones. You know, it is what it is. But Boom happy to find as much as possible. Holding B main down back in towards catwalk as well. The drone coming out. Nothing spotted. So just Famous to listen for those pistols clanking through. Flashes, and he's looking for kills because Berserks is right up around the back. He's got the blazes to heal himself off as well.
They played anti for that flash. They expected it, but trades available for Boom.
Level 4.
And now Jing. Damage. Just some cheeky damage here. Not going to be able to find it. Famous will have the runner back going in towards the next round. Where we're going to look onto PaperX's attacking side when they've got the weaponry, the blade storm available. If something just wants to kind of chive in quickly, cut them down to size.
And this is where,
अच्छा
you know, if you are PaperX, you need to recognize what Boom can possibly pull off.
Yeah, I think
recognize the trade protocols.
I think momentum-wise, right now though, for PaperX is they're really feeling how they're playing this map and what Boom's weaknesses are currently. The slower pace game that they had on that attacking side, but they are pulling out a play of PaperX's, going for the early control of an operator. But they've got assistance to gain some wing control over at A, and the rest of the team to look back at the deeper sides of spawn and B.
And that does keep, you know, a single player from PaperX invested in towards this
position.
So might hurt the numbers across the other portions of the map.
Yeah, those salvos as well give you the idea that Boom weren't 100% confident if PaperX had gotten deep enough or not.
Been 30 seconds and Boom has spent quite a bit just to find information all across the map. Nothing found towards B, and now finding a little bit more towards A. And PaperX continue to rotate everywhere.
Yeah.
Back possibly in towards Market. Berserks is holding the angle though. Finds the first and continues to burst his way through. Down to 9 HP, hit by the Paranoia now. But Jing looks towards the back. Oh, that has possibly got to be the worst thing to happen right now, and that's just a Vi left. Might be able to get his way into the site, but you're 1 against 5, buddy.
But let me tell you the story, Quack. When PaperX were looking for map point against Boom, and Devi got the plant and was caught with his knife out, and Shiro took him down.
The end.
The end. No, not the end here. Boom, though, a flawless round to find against PaperX's first gun round here, where Famous commands a lot of space over at A. I'm thinking that there is a heavy investment of utility, as you were talking about, right? Salvos deep mid, shot darts used early towards tree, a dark cover, a blaze as well, really trying to navigate them down in through towards mid, where there is a bit of a crossfire here, right? Berserks and NC Slasher, very aware, dodging a lot of the utility as well. The fact that the flash comes a little bit late from Pac-Man and Paranoia doesn't take NC Slasher there. You know, a couple of differences, right? That could have completely turned around on its head. Things we need to be seeing.
Balls बोल के मारा पीछे.
Doing just that. Looking to repeat a lot of it as well. Famous still sitting on that run it back. PaperX this time on a bit of a half buy. Something does have the blades though.
She was going to keep some specs over at B main as well for them, so they don't have to really worry about that. I wouldn't mind the idea if Boom want to get a little bit proactive to try and contest into it, but you've got to buy looking after it. It is the lesson.
Hey, Nazik, hey!
Right? But Famous is pushed very far up.
Something that is completely unexpected for PaperX, and Famous goes on a tear!
Okay.
Flashes back in just to check even more as well. The spike has been picked up.
Now he can settle.
And he's just happy to sit onto it.
5 versus 2. These are the sort of rounds for Boom that you just need confidence to win it cleanly from here. You don't want to see anyone overheat.
Haven't quite done too much of that, especially not from the previous map either. Boom looking to be a very controlled version of themselves. Something though, Blades will whiz right by.
Now the dart has to be dodged from Devi, who is once again in a 1 versus 5.
30 seconds left.
What's the story this time?
Oh, he gets one. I didn't see that.
He's gonna find more kills, right?
Nah, probably not.
Straying back in, looking for more sprays. He does!
No way! Oh, bro. I'm talking. It's looking to be a flawless round from Boom. The turret that spots out a player in B main, where something cloud bursted off. You've got an immediate special delivery from NC Slasher. I'm trying to give credit to all these quick utilities to come out after Famous starts off the round, and then you're running into Devi with a yeehaw old classic boy. And he just comes out with that. He's on 4 HP, and he gets him out with the stick. Like, man.
A yeehaw classic boy.
Yeehaw classic boy. Hey, our Ascension teams will get their classics soon, all right? Maybe that would be the buff that Boom won.
Very much so. You got to keep your eyes open for that Boom bundle. But yeah, you know, still around for Boom nonetheless. But I gotta love it when Komodo absolutely
these are the moments that if you're watching this game can infuriate you a little bit, because they shouldn't happen.
Oh, I've already I was already infuriated by yesterday's Japanese match, but
yeah,
we're back into it. PaperX, you know, they lost off of a bit of a half buy against Boom in that previous map in the last round.
So less thrifty to end it. I mean,
now we're back into this where maybe starting to go off the flop side again. It's currently Boom with 4 straight rounds in a row.
It's not the 7 that PaperX started off with, but with PaperX getting the pistol and the fact that Boom forced up, they get the second round, they start to build a little bit of character on this defense side of their own. Yeah, maybe there is a world. Famous has the operator in play. He's got to run it back as well. He's currently on 22 kills. I mean, he's putting up numbers. DOS9, though, again, he's feeling a little bit absent today.
He's for now just providing value with the utility for the team. He's a controller after all. Famous finding his off back in. PaperX, that's a double!
Yep, needs to heal though, 30 HP. At least it is an operator, so he can go for another challenge where PaperX want to go quickly now into this A side.
Okay, shrouded steps past the door. Forsaken B hops in, gets the door down.
You could use Famous on this run it back as a glorified drone.
That's exactly what he's looking to do alongside the rest of the team as well. But even as a sort of a drone, he finds a kill with a frenzy. Op shots fired back in. They know exactly where Jing is. And Jing looks to survive inside of hell. Smokes out, looks to peek through. Does find the first. The shorty makes quick work of Jing, and Boom will be going on with another win. That's 5 in a row now.
Tried to have some options with the dark cover to dance around a little bit, didn't he? Here's the reload of the shorty.
जब नहीं देखता हूँ तब तो हो जाता है लोग का level 3, level 4. जब मैं बैठा हूँ तभी 10 से 8 कर लाना है फिर हारना है. जीत जाओ आखिर तक लेके मेरा भी खड़ा हो जाए.
It feels like he's got the magic touch at the moment when that gun is in his hand.
But I do want to question this, Komodo. Maybe if I can pose it to you. PaperX's attack looking a little bit lackadaisical. We saw that on Pearl. They continue to try to bully their way into sites. They're trying to. It appears like they're doing that again on towards Ascent.
Yeah, I mean, like, we know PaperX are proficient on attack. Seen it on Fracture, for example. We also know, like, a map like Lotus, for example, Boom are pretty good on attack too, right? So coming in towards Ascent right now, where they're also looking pretty hot for this comeback, they're putting up their defenses. NC Slasher starting us off for 2.
Op still continuing to sing as well. PaperX. At some point, you gotta find other solutions.
How do you get Patman up? Your molly.
You can't.
Oh, it goes a bit deep, and now it's done. 5 versus 3. 2-player advantage for Boom. An exit if they need 2 ultimates that they can invest here. A lockdown, an Armageddon, but at this point in time, Quack, there's a minute that you're going to let PaperX just simmer in the fact that this round might be unachievable. It might be the 6th round in a row for Boom.
I feel like it would be.
Yep.
PaperX looking to save right now.
Now you
definitely needing the time to discuss things over.
Shift into podcast mode for a minute, you know. The fact is, though, in these sort of situations for PaperX, as long as they're protecting their guns, they can use this as a bit of a talk time for the team, right? And most importantly, how are they going to get this next round?
चलो podcast खेलते.
Device got its Steel Garden. You could pop that for a bit of an explosion for something to get in towards the site and maybe gain a bit of an advantage duel.
Possibly for the next round, and that's going to be this round's episode of Rex Chat. Welcome.
Oh, we missed it. DRX, PRX, our first one. That's when that would have come out.
Still, though, definitely needing to find some answer to possibly the early round aggression coming out from Boom or the op in the hands of Famous. Currently sitting on top of 25 kills. I mean, he was putting up huge numbers in that first half, even though Boom was still you know, shaking a little bit on their attack.
Certainly having a map for him, that's for sure. You know, we get a lot of these teams in our region that sometimes you've got players that are very consistent in the mid-range. You've got players that just have these absolutely brilliant maps. You know, Famous is having one of those ones at the moment.
This time positioned in a safer position off of the timeout. Possibly anticipating some kind of a burst coming out from PaperX. PaperX, though, slowing things down a little bit.
On the duelist roll at the moment. Famous trying to do his best Yudotan impression, leading by example. Different agents and such, but they did go against each other previously, remember, and 28 kills. So see if Famous is going to be able to put up those numbers.
At least currently still on the A site, so PaperX trying to cut noise, looking for that explosion into the B site. Oh, it's going to be an Odin.
Yeah, it's not going to reach its
अभी भी
mark,
slam
though.
गिरता
Especially with the map changes currently, but
There you
the
go.
Armageddon will hit its
Really,
mark.
really nicely done. Steel Garden is going to essentially be countered by the Armageddon. You've got the lockdown if you need. Time to be bought by those salvos. This sheer, I mean, yeah, Devi has it later for the flank, of course, but 40 seconds, a lot of this input utility is gone. But Batman finds NC Slasher out in the open.
With the Spectre. Shiro, though, digs himself deep, tries to spray through with the Odin, not quite finding its mark. It's going to be Berserks now off to the other end. But still,
ऐसा ये वाला PRX
continues
होना
to push
रे
through. Famous now
माँ
looking
बहन हो
to
जाना एक
find
दूसरे
a
की
pick off.
Do you want to go for this? There is a Vandal on the
ऐसा
floor.
ऐसा वाला पिकने वाले नहीं होना रे एक
So
पिक
you
लर
gotta
फिर
pick that up.
ऐसा पिक लेते
Support
दोनों
from
ऐसे
Doss
दोनों
as
साथ
well,
में
who
लेते
has been
ऐसे
put on
वाले
the clutch.
मजा आता देखने
At least to create a little bit more space. Will they make their way
Sentinels
through
भी
to
हिचकेलती
the
तुम लोग
lanes
देखो एक बार
or
वो
from
सब देखने
stairs?
मजा आता है
Split pushes for sure, but something happy to trade. Off to the other end as well. That's going to be Jing to clean up.
Odin ले
PaperX
लेना
finally reaching towards map point.
Well, that's
चलो
what they were
खत्म
waiting
करो
for, right? The 6 rounds in a row that we did see
ऐसा
from
PRX होना अरे
Boom this
गया
time.
पीछे
They hold off all that early utility. They can't get in towards it when they invest the Steel Garden, but that lockdown just not able to be protected by Berserks. You highlighted that Famous was on the other side of the map. They had to run a marathon to get towards this B site, and it was a little bit too late. And this is credit towards the space that PaperX gave themselves in the first half, right?
All they need is just one more round, but still 4 chances for Boom to try to really push this all the way through to overtime. Well, I mean, 0 chances actually, but still. Okay. DOS9 digs himself deep into Wine, and see Slasher with the op this time. Will be able to block off Catwalk.
Yeah, would you expect that one? Shiro, though, onto Forsaken as well. Jing able to at least establish one, but no trades. So Room will hold player advantage ×2. They just have to make sure that they don't drop this one from here. Good crossfire in through mid on the back of the alarm bot.
भाई सबसे यूजफुल किसी का है ना वो साइफर और केजे का ही रहता है बे
Pop flashed over. Shiro peeks. And Devi and Patman happy to take this B site. Spike down now.
Two
Soon
very nicely calculated 2v1 duels there, by the way.
NC Slasher could possibly swap the weapon over onto a rifle if they are to go for this retake, but Devi, happy to read, pushing further on through as well.
The Shear's just going to give up all the information. You know the flank is where it's coming from, and you're just going to play protected at the back of the site, because time is your friend now as PaperX.
Fragment 2. So Celos block off stairs, special delivery, and he's looking to find a bit more space, maybe looking to pick them off. PaperX cannot make a single mistake. Devi with the peek out though.
Can't miss a shot here, Quack.
Now on a one-on-one, Patman holding, listening for the drop. The op still a very lethal threat. Hops on over with a shorty, and Patman creates more space in between him and his opponent just to bring the scoreline over the finishing line. Scoreline is going to be 13-8, and PaperX will push us into a map number 3.
Well, we're kind of questioning what is this setup going to look like for PaperX when they haven't played it in quite some time, right? Banning it out most recently, of course. Boom, they look pretty good on it against Gen G, but they weren't able to, you know, kind of exploit any weak links on the side of PaperX here. Really strong to start off the map.
I don't know if I would say exactly that, though. I mean, the second half definitely did look a little bit better.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But, you know, 10-2 half, right? You gotta, I mean, you gotta remember that they just did not give themselves enough rope there.
That is definitely true. Something that PaperX can